yes. It seriously just feels like my favorite board got better. This is the Evolve Stoke. I've been riding this board since January of 2021, so almost a year and a half now. I have put countless miles on this board. It is my daily driver, sits next to my desk, always charged. I take it in my van with me anywhere I go. Whether it's a fun ride at the beach, I'm using it in my van as kind of like a last mile transportation, or I'm just going out for a ride with my girls. I love this skateboard, so much so that I was about to make a video saying my favorite e-board, but then I looked on the Evolve website and I realized they're out of stock. So I reached out to Evolve and I was like, hey, when are you guys getting more Stokes in? It'd be silly to make a video if people can't go buy them. And they said, we're not, because they're releasing this bad boy, the Evolve Stoke Series 2. And today we're gonna talk about this board, see what's new, what's the same, and ultimately, should you buy this board? So we'll talk about everything that is different on this board, everything that's new, but first let's go through everything that's the same as the Series 1. And the first thing is this deck. This is a 33.5-inch deck. Totally the same as Series 1, same concave, same spray-on grip tape, which we'll talk about later, and same EVA foam pad in the back, we'll also talk about later, and same swallowtail design in the back. That doesn't do anything, by the way, on a skateboard. It looks cool, but on a surfboard, like a swallowtail really changes the feel of the board. On a skateboard, it just looks cool. And then when you flip this thing over, you'll see the same dual 1500 watt, so 3000 watts total, GTR motors in the back. On the new GTR Series 2, these motors, instead of 50 millimeters, are now 63 millimeters to help with heat. But on the Stoke, they never really had overheating issues, so they kept the same 50 millimeter motors on the Stoke. These motors are gonna bring you to the same top speed of 22 miles an hour. Now, we have seen 24 and 25 on my Series 1, but that was on a pretty solid downhill. On a totally flat surface, this thing's taking you to 22. And then in that slightly redesigned battery case is a 144 watt hour battery pack, same as Series 1, which by the way is travel friendly. So you can take this board on an airplane. Usually what I've seen people do is they actually pop the battery pack out, put the battery pack in your carry-on bag, and then you can check your skateboard. Not a lot of airlines are gonna let you bring a board this big onto the airplane. They just usually don't have space for it. But you can pop that out for airline travel, which is nice because most skateboards are not airline friendly. And that 144 watt hour battery pack is still giving you 10 miles of range. Now, 10 miles of range is plenty for how I use this board. 22 miles per hour is plenty fast for how I use this board. But again, it's because it's not like a high speed, go fast board, it's a super carvy board. And the reason it's super carvy is because of these bad boys, 306 millimeter double kingpin super carved trucks. These trucks is kind of what makes this board what it is. The reason I love this board so much is because it's super carvy. It's not for bombing super fast in a straight line. For me, it's let me use the motor and the battery and everything to get up to the top of a hill, and then when I'm going down the hill, I don't use the remote at all. I just carve down the hill, and then it's like a free chairlift ride back to the top. And much of that surfy, carvy feel is because of these trucks. 306 millimeters is 12 inches. These are 12-inch trucks. Very, very awesome. And then mounted on there is the Orangutan Kagwama wheels. This time I went for the 80As. These are the orange ones, they're 80As, which is kind of like the mid firmness. I think on the first one, I think the blues are the soft wheels, and then these are the medium wheels, and then the purple are the hardest wheels, I think. So most everything is the same from Series 1 to Series 2, so what makes this Series 2? What makes this new and improved? And there's two things, and they both come from the Hadean series board. The motor controller inside, and this guy, the phase remote. If you guys have seen any videos on the Hadean, you'll know that the remote is different. This is the R2 remote from Evolve, which is, you know, it's a good remote. When I first got this remote, it was a little weird to get used to, like throttle being a trigger here and the brake being a thumb on top. It was a little tricky to get used to. Once I got used to it though, I loved it, and I would say this is a decent remote. It's pretty good. I really didn't have any complaints. But then I tested out the Hadean and I tried out this remote, and it is so much better. It's got that same dual trigger design in a CNC aluminum frame. So this whole part here, this is all CNC aluminum, which just gives the remote like a really sturdy feel. And then there's a full color screen on there for real-time ride data, speed, distance, lifetime odometer. You can go into all sorts of settings. You can adjust everything on the board. This remote It's amazing, and I'm super stoked that it came to the Stoke. But the second thing that came to the Stoke is built in here, and it is the new motor controller. It's called EFOC, and that comes from the Haitian. It replaces the square wave motor controller that was in there before. And essentially, it just gives you a lot more control over the acceleration curves, over the braking curves. And the first thing that I realized when I got on this board, and I threw it to GTR mode, and I just hit it, because that's what I do on my Series 1 all the time. I got like the proper yo! All right, first ride on the Stoke Series 2. Whoa, oh my God. Whoa, it feels faster. And even better is the braking is way stronger. That's probably the thing that surprised me the most about this board, or about the new motor controller in here. The acceleration was great, but the braking is like hard. The GTR mode on this thing is way faster off the line, and the brakes are way stronger. Like, they come on quick and they like really lock up. That was something that I think myself and a lot of Stoke Series 1 riders were saying, was that the brakes were like a little mushy. Like, you kind of hit them really hard, but they kind of just mushed into the stop. These things like really yikes. So really everything from the Series 1 that I loved transferred over to the Series 2. So still relatively small and compact. So easy to grab, easy to pick up, just throw in your car. If you're riding buses or you're riding trains, I would say this is an excellent option as like a last mile device. If maybe you're taking the train into town and then you need to go from the train station to your work, this would be a very dope board to do that on. It's just a super fun board to ride. So to bring that new motor controller, to bring that new phase remote to this board, I'm very happy with Series 2. They pretty much addressed most of my issues. The only issue they didn't address for me is this clear grip tape. Now, you'll notice that when you first get this board, this clear grip tape is super aggressive, way more aggressive than other spray-on clear grip tapes that I've seen before. But I've had lots of boards with spray-on grip tape and lots of boards with traditional grip tape, and the spray-on stuff, while really good at first, over time it gets quite smooth. I would say, especially up here where my foot goes, there is very little grip left on this board. So much so that I actually just bought 2 rolls of grip tape, and what I'm gonna be doing with this Series 1 board is I'm going to sand off all of this and replace it with real grip tape. And then as for this EVA foam pad, it has held up way better than I thought it was going to. When I first got this, I was really worried, would it be slippery? Would it be slippery when it got wet? Would it kind of age and get worse over time? And I would say this has actually really kept its grippiness. This has mostly lost its grippiness. Now, again, I've had this board for a year and a half and put countless miles on that board. So it does last a while, but even with this new guy, I'll know that in about a year or so, I'll probably be scraping this off and putting some real grip tape on there. It does look really good. Like, anytime that companies make bamboo boards, they always want to put clear grip tape because it looks cool. And that's true, but sticking to my board is more important than my board looking cool. Again though, when you first get it, very grippy. So this is the Evolve Stoke Series 2. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. It is basically the Series 1 add-on, the EFOC motor controller and the phase remote control, which I love this thing, and I'm very, very happy that this is now my remote. Because this will be my daily driver. This is what I will ride every single day and always have charged up, and it'll always be in the van. It's just so damn convenient. And it feels like a little surfboard. Anytime I want, I can just kind of go out, clear my head, go bomb around the neighborhood, bomb up to a couple of hills, bomb down them, and man, it brings a lot of fun to your life. For like 95% of the people out there, they're looking for a compact, lightweight, super fun board to ride. I think this Stoke Series 2 is the board that you should go for. Let me know what you guys think, and I'm gonna go ride around some more and have some more fun. I'll see you guys soon. I didn't even talk about this in the video, but you do get all this, stuff with it, like a key, wrenchy bits and everything. But look what Evolve did to me. They gave me the battery pack, but because it was pre-released, they sent me this thing. What are those prongs? Is that Australia or Europe or something, or Asia? What are those two? Good thing I had a Series 1 that I could charge this board up with, because yeah, that wouldn't have worked with my plugs. I really like these. Oh, shite. Oh my gosh, did I just break my desk? This thing's sturdy. It's all part of getting pre-release products. What did you say? Ooh, safety manual. Should have read that first.